How many of you remember what you wanted to be when you were young? You probably wanted to be a police officer or a fireman, cowboy, maybe even an astronaut. Well, when I was growing up, I wanted to be a Power Ranger. Well, why a Power Ranger? Because they look cool, they help people, and behind their outfits, they're just everyday normal people. But as I grew older, reality hit me hard because there's no such thing as heroes, or that's what I thought before. Today I will inform you about the Stand Your Ground law. Um, this is important to us all because essentially this law gives us the right um, to stand up for ourselves and justice. Today we'll explore the history, the importance, and the effects this law brings. Right. Let's take a look at the history behind it. How far does this law go? According to the March 21, 2012 prospectory, the common law has recognized two kinds of self-defense throughout time. The first, justifiable of his own attack by another. Second, being chance medley, which gave someone the right to use brute force to defend oneself from being attacked. This law was used to defend someone from committing acts of self-defense or from being accused from committing something that could have otherwise gotten them sent to jail, like sending someone innocent, I guess. Why was this law established? According to the April 14, 2012 Tampa Bay Times, the Stand Your Ground law became a law after a 77-year-old retiree who was asleep with his wife in his RV was outside his home during a hurricane disaster in 2004. He got his gun and shot an intruder who was bursting into the trailer late at night. People argued on this case because it dealt with because it was seen as an act of self-defense. According to my previous source, the law passed 39-0 in the Senate and 94-20 in the House, and then swept across the nation. The Stand Your Ground law first became a law in Florida in 2005. So we've just gone over the history behind this law. Now let's move on to the importance this law brings. According to the hg.org, it states that if you see someone being attacked, you can use brute force if you believe that person is in serious trouble. This essentially gives you the right to defend oneself and others as well. Now I'd like to talk about Phoenix Jones. Who is Phoenix Jones? He's like a modern day superhero. He patrols the city of Seattle in like full suit, like a superhero, and he patrols late at night and helps fight crime with his group called the Rain City Superhero Movement. According to the August 2011 GQ magazine stated, "We break up 2 to 3 acts of violence a night." He says 2 to 3 people are being hurt now. It bothers me. I had this to say. Oh, he had this to say while he was being hospitalized for being stabbed. He's like very charismatic and he cares about people, which I like about him. This guy puts himself in danger every night in order to maintain peace. Phoenix Jones isn't alone. My previous source stated that he is one of the 200 plus superheroes patrolling the streets of America. Why we need this law? People may be afraid if they think they'll be prosecuted without prosecuted to the full extent of the law if they use force to defend someone or themselves. People may be afraid if uh, um, without this law, it will otherwise leave you defenseless. It helps us, the community, to act to to stop acts of violence and help justice and maintain balance. So we just taken a look at the importance of this law. Now let's move on to the effects it brings. All right, pros and cons. The good thing this law brings is the fact that this law helps save some people. According to the January 7th, 2011, ABC News interviewed Phoenix Jones, Red Dragon, and Buster Doe, which are all part of the Rain City superhero movement. Phoenix Jones said, "I want to have a good relationship with the cops. I want to help them as much as possible. People want to do good deeds. They want to be able to help others. Help out others. This law allows normal people to do so. The bad thing is the bad things this law brings. This law isn't without flaw. There's a reason people refer to this as the shoot first, ask questions later. Some people misuse this law since it is very vague. It encourages vigilantism. You're probably thinking, isn't that what Phoenix Jones does? Well, according to the January 23rd, 2011 Jill, someone from a blog interviewed Phoenix Jones, interviewed Red Dragon. He stated, "What we, the Rain City superhero movement, do aren't acts of vigilantism. We don't take laws into our hands. We follow and abide the laws and justice." Well, we discussed the history, importance, and effects behind the Stand Your Ground law. We explained how this law was born, how we as a society can use this law, and also discovered the positives and the negatives this law brings. I don't encourage you to become superheroes and put your life on the line to help others. That's why we have cops for. That's their jobs. Rather, I encourage you to do what's right. If you see someone who's in trouble, help them. We don't need fancy costumes to fight crime, but a true heart and a passion for justice.